Dear friends, I hope you all are well and keeping safe. Today, I want to share with you my experience reading four works of fiction by my favorite author, R.K. Narayan. R.K. Narayan is known as 20th century classic author. One of my favorite, all of his work of fiction has been classics, they are hits. There are movies made on his stories, there are TV serials made on his story. If you are from India or you're not from India, if you want to experience that India, you should definitely read R.K. Narayan's book. He has written about 21 different novels, several essays and stories, all based upon an imaginary town known as Malgudi. So when you read the book, you'll hear this word Malgudi time and again. It is based again from the story side and from the novel perspective. They are based upon the southern side of India. But as I said, you can get the flavor of India regardless from which part of India you belong to or if you want to experience India in general. The four books that I read were Swami and Friends, the Bachelor of Arts, the Dark Room, and the last one, the English Teacher. All these books has a flavor, as I said, of India coming very richly and vividly. You will laugh at times, you will choke, you will cry at times, you will long to see how the story is forming. It is so gripping that at times you'll feel not to leave the book until you finish the chapter or the book or the story itself. All his story is some commonality which I want to provide to you all from my perspective. First of all, every story or every novel, the four that I have mentioned, when you read, you will find that at the end there is a longing. You would like to see that, gosh, what happened next? Can I know what is happening with the character next? That's in every story you'll find. It is an amazing feeling when you read a book, you can belong to it when you see the characters. The second thing is that even if you have not seen India or if you have not experienced that side of the India, which is back in the days in 1930, most of his stories are based on, you can vividly imagine those structures, those river banks, the buildings, the British era, that the flavor of that coming along very clearly in his stories. So, and you can imagine those happening in front of your eyes. Again, the sign of a great writer. The third aspect that I wanted to draw to your attention is in terms of the characters, you'll find them very down to earth. They are usual people like you and me, who are struggling in life, who are yearning for love, who are looking to get some solace in the period of time. So you can very well relate to them as you read the stories. Now I'll quickly go through and provide a perspective of each of the book. The first book is which I read was Swami and Friends. It happens to be his first book itself. You should go and search R.K. Narayan and see that his struggle in getting his first book published. But for all of those for a later video. But in this particular book, if I want to come back to the aspect of what I want to say, it is about children as they're growing up. The fear they have, the bonding they form with their friends, and overall aspect of the family that they grow in, the scare they have for their father, at the same time the love they have for their mother and grandfather. It's not that the character in this book, Swami, for example, was not in love with his father, but very scared of the aura and how he is working around it. As you read the book, you will laugh. There are incidences you can relate back to from your childhood days, which I personally did, and you'll also long for it. The friendship that he has formed, especially at times when friends are, yeah, getting parted. As you see in the book, some of the aspects of that comes into play as well. And this relates really well back in those times, regardless of which country you belong to. Because for me personally, I was when I was growing up, there was no Facebook, no phone whatsoever. The only way to get in touch is writing letters. And at that point in time, my dad was in Air Force, so we used to shift places every 3 years. So I don't have any childhood friends because we lose time. There's no way we can get connected to. So you'll get that feeling very well in the book itself. The second book, the Bachelor of Arts, this is about, again, the story is all about a person who is trying to form a grip in his career. This is about a young person who is in college and is about to pass out. His life in college is shown in the first part, and then life after college. Few aspect of it that you can relate to, more so the Indian youth can relate to it very well as well. But and you graduate, what you want to do in life, right? So you want to try to find a job, or you want to go for higher education. At that point in time, going to London or UK was a big deal, and you'll see the protagonist in the story is trying to see if he can go to London for higher studies, and his entire aspect around what he wants to do in life. The third part of the story quickly turns tide as he finds a girl, gets attracted to it, and his entire world revolves around it. Again, like any youth, you may have felt that as well when you're growing up in your younger days. And again, he wanted to get married to this girl, but unfortunately, thing doesn't turn out to be. And how the person is completely devastated, taken certain action he should not have, but in turn, he learns from life many lessons, and then comes back. He again finds another girl. Again, alliances made through his parents, but again, he feels a similar kind of vibes back again. So again, gives all the readers the hope that world doesn't end when you don't get certain things, and you can find same love, same longing in some other aspect as well. That's about Bachelor of Arts. Very lovingly, very heartfelt story as you can read through. And again, as I said, towards the end, you long to know more, more for you as you read the book. The third book, The Dark Room, as the name indicates, it has the flavor of darkness there. It shows, again, people and their behavior and the thought process they have. This is a story about a married couple, and the husband is doing really well. He has a very stable job, has a house in the right location, the rich neighborhood, drives a car in those days, which was a big deal at that time, has servants to take care of. But his wife has a yearning, right? So his wife, um, do didn't complain in the beginning, but you can see that dominated by husband. Her life revolves around husband, and husband also believes that that's how wife should be. He is like snapping her all the time, and the wife is accepting that as a part of the whole process, and that shows the cultural emblem in terms of how marriages were thought to be at that particular point in time. And then as the story progresses, um, the husband finds another attractive woman, and he believes that it is okay to keep another person in his life, uh, and his and he did have fear in the beginning, but at the same time he convinces himself that, look, I am the man, so I can do anything that I want. And wife at the same time could not take that very dearly, and how she takes certain steps, the whole notion about going independent. And it shows that she has not studied well in her life. She was pampered as a child, married off, and her life was revolving around her husband, and without her husband she was nothing. And she realized that while she tries to break apart, take certain steps, take some drastic steps as well, but she is not able to comprehend, and finally gives us and comes back to her home. So again, a very, uh, I would say, a tragic end to kind of see that how you have to give in to situation, and how you are trying to cope up just because you have to live a life. Again, they have children, so she has longing for her children as well. This story also shows the other dimension of life, people who are poor, how they help out people. And that's another dimension when the protagonist, the wife, goes out of the house, how she is helped by people around, who around the locality who she didn't even know, and her helplessness to help them back later part of the story. You'll see that, and again, as the book ends, they'll be longing again, longing that you would like to know more and see that hope her life turns towards good. There are a lot of shades which are not taken off completely, drapes which are not completely wiped off. So you'll be left with certain imagination, but it's the beauty of a great writer. The last book which I just finished is The Bachelor of Arts. The English teacher. I'm sorry, the English teacher. The English teacher is, again, it's all about divine and God, presence, and love. This is again a 360-degree opposite story to The Dark Room. Here, the husband is completely devoted to his wife. They have a loving family. It shows that first how he's hesitating to form a family, how he forms a family, how they are equal in size, and he completely respects his wife and her freedom and the life around it. And some devastating things happen, and he loses his wife, and his life comes to a complete standstill. He has this little daughter, and he believes to live with his wife's memory. But all of that, when it happens, he gets connected to God and a way back to her wife as well. It's a story about divine. It's a story about reaching out to God and a belief that we can create. So you may see it from one angle by saying, hey, this is about you know, things spectre, this is about ghosts. Not exactly. It is about a belief that human being can form. It is about resurrection. It is about coming out of fear. It is about coming out of a loss and how you can live. The whole story revolves around, the way I learned is, once you are on the world, you have to live. You have to live for the people around you, and you have to live happily. The memories that you have from the past, you have to nurture them for goodness, nurture them for betterment, and you have to make sure that you do your duty well and live happily. Do not let memories ruin your present, and use them as your guiding light. All those four stories, again, as I said, are classic creation. They are bestsellers. I found them in a hardbound book, all four together, and I thought I'll share with you. I'm sure you have liked what you heard. If you have not read Ark and Narayan, I'll highly, highly recommend them. They must be available in library. If not, order them. They are not very costly. Read them. I'm going to go and finish all the other books. Small trivia: these books I have read before as well. I reread them. I found this book in my library. I took it out and reread them after a long, long period, maybe after 30 years or so. I'm I've taken a pledge to read all his book now. I think he has written 21 novels at least. So I'm four down, 17 more to go. So more about that as I read through. But do let me know experiences. If you've read his book, do let me know about your thoughts as well. And I look forward to hearing from you as always in the comment box. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to my channel, spread the word, and looking forward to hearing from you. Take care now. Bye.